Alright guys, it's time for another super lightweight Linux distribution, and this time we will try Q4OS, which claims to be a very lightweight Linux distro. The minimum requirements are only a 300 MHz processor, 128 megabytes of RAM, and I think 3 gigabytes of disk space. So I yanked out my old IBM ThinkPad that has a Pentium 4, I think a gigabyte of RAM, and an 8 gig compact flash card as a disk. And so it should be a pretty potent system on Q4OS. So let's install it and hope that it will just work. So I will actually let you have a look at this external monitor, so I am not always fiddling around with my fingers in front of the camera, and it's just easier to see this way. So yeah, let's boot it up, see if it even boots. I have no idea. Maybe we have to go into the boot menu. Let's see. Hit F12 there. Let's do CD-ROM drive. And there it is. Great, so we will just choose here the classic install. It has no questions, full automated. This will all destroy all your data. Yeah, we will just go with a classic install and see what it can offer us here. Probably not a whole lot, it's pretty minimalistic. I'm just always curious to check out those super lightweight Linux distros because I have lots of old computers and I've really seen Linux helping them out and being useful again. So I'm always happy to try those out. This is actually based on Debian. So we'll just stick with English for the video here. We live in the United States, yes, let's do that. But I will change it to a German keyboard layout because of the keys. It's always really annoying once it's set to different one. I have my internet connected, so I don't know if it pulls something from the servers or it does it all from CD-ROM. It's a pretty small download, the 32-bit version. It's only, I think, not even 500 megabytes, so pretty slick. And this is not looking fancy, this is just your standard Debian installer, the lightweight Debian installer. So yeah, should go fast on this Pentium 4. I recently also tried Crunch Bang Linux on this machine, but I didn't really have any luck. It just wouldn't install, so let's see if it does on this distro. The username, just the username for the account here, password, re-enter it to verify it. Time zone is Central. Starting up the petitioner. So here I will just use the entire disk. So, or should we? No, we just use the entire disk. I mean, there's no need for manual partitioning. As you can see, we have here an 8 gigabyte disk, which is a compact flash to IDE adapter, and it's working pretty good. I like to use those types of adapters on my computers once the hard drive dies or something. And so it says here we have a gigabyte of swap partition, 7 gigabyte primary partition, ext4, and I think that's fine. That's just the stock setting. Should be fine. Here it says you really want to do it. Yes, we really want to format it. And it's creating the file system. So we already are at the installation step. So that is a pretty speedy install. And we now wait, and hopefully it installs. So our first round of installation went without problems, and it's now installing software. So yeah, let's also let it go through that, and then hopefully we'll have a system that can be started. So that also took a fair amount of time. It's probably due to the fact that it has the compact flash card. The speeds of the compact flash cards, they're really not that fast, but for our experiment here, absolutely fine. And it future-proofs the system too. So right now it's installing the grub bootloader, which is the last step, so we can actually boot this thing, and then it should be done. Okay, it says it's completed. It also ejected my CD. So let's put it out and hit continue. And it should reboot into Q4OS. Weird name. Let's see if it's good. Alright, it's loading it. Get here all these services starting. And here it is. So that's a really simple login screen, and the computer now detects this as an external monitor. So I'll try to reset it so I have mirrored images. Can't really use it this way that I intended. But hey, it's not that bad. I can see it on the monitor. So let's select that. Really simple login screen. It says here session type, and we'll just go with the pre-selected one, the default, and see how it looks. You may want to enlarge texts and widgets. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. Oh, got all of the settings already here. We'll just leave them stock. They look fine to me. The desk profiler lets you choose and apply the most appropriate desktop profile for this computer. Fully featured desktop with web browser, Office suite, and this is the recommended one. Then we have the basic with common utilities, system tools and libraries, and a minimal desktop. You will be free to set up anything by yourself. Now what I would probably choose is that one with the common utilities, because in my case I probably wouldn't want the Office and all that, but for this video I will choose here the stock, well, full featured desktop. So let's do that, and as you can see, it's downloading it. So that's why the download was so small, because there is just not a whole lot coming with it. So you have to download them afterwards, which is not a big deal. Just have to have an internet connection. And so I hope that we will have enough space for this OS. Now, this being a lightweight targeted OS, I think it should be fine with its 8 gigs. But still not a whole lot. So let's see what it does. Hopefully it doesn't throw us errors. Oh my god, this really took forever. Should have checked the second option, but hey, now we have hopefully everything installed. I'm not kidding, this took like 40 minutes now. Now I know it's probably also the speed of the compact flash. So yeah, anyway, let's log back in here and see if we finally see a desktop. And maybe I can manage to mirror the screen instead of having a second display, which is nice that it knows that. But yeah, so let's see what we got. Oh, that looks like OpenSUSE, however it's called. KDE, is that KDE? Nah, probably not. Or is it? I think that is KDE. Oh, it even plays this nice chime. So let me just quickly close that and go into the preferences. This looks very like Windows XP. Sorry that you can't see that. I hope it's better now. No, it's not. Ah, shit, camera, man. This camera is nice and all, but for screens not really. So this looks like Windows XP. Man, they even wrote control panel here. I like it. It gives me flashbacks to XP. Okay, so let me try to get into somewhat preferences if I can find them. Control panel. Man, that looks very Windows-like. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. Because you could probably set random people in front of this PC that will know how to use it. So let's go to peripherals maybe, or desktop. Just see what we got here. This is... Oh boy. Mirror. See what he does. Ah ha ha! It like mirrored it, literally. Oh boy. Thankfully it's reverting it on its own. So guys, I can't figure out that monitor thing for the life of me, but hey, it's not a big deal. I can look at the monitor. Now let's actually check out the OS, which is a lot like Windows XP. I mean, a lot. This could really be a Windows XP theme, like a third-party theme for XP. So here we have documents. There's nothing in here. Let's go to my computer. Again, very Windows-like. And here we have home folder, remote places, storage media. Let's see what it says here. 6.5 removable device. And it knows that it's a compact flash. I like that. That's pretty cool. Does it show somewhere maybe where how much I have left? How much gigabytes or so? Well, not at first glance. Let's right click it. Properties. Someone literally said, you know what, we're gonna recreate XP. And again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I like it. I'm just kind of wondered. So as you can see here, 90% used. We only have 717 megabytes free. So I did install quite a lot of third-party things, which I will remove afterwards probably. My network places. That is again that. Okay. I'd really call this like Windows XP kind of Linux. So here is LibreOffice. Probably the latest version. It got installed with that installation script which installed all the stuff. And I'm very pleased to see it also installed Synaptic. So just check the version. That is still loading. Okay, version 6.1.5. That's relatively recent. And that is what like a use case could be for such a machine. You know, documents, spreadsheets and such. I personally think that loading stuff you see is only the fault of the compact flash, not really the PC's fault, like missing RAM or so. Although this is a very new version for a very old computer, just remember that, guys. So I much rather install here something like AB Word or something just to help it out a bit. But yeah, still cool that it has LibreOffice. Obviously it's a Linux, you can install anything you want. Let's just check out here our Windows XP style. Oh, it's not the exact same as XP, it's more like Windows 7. Here we have all the programs. Oh, they made that really nicely to use. I prefer this over like the pop-out menus where you go here, it pops out another one, and it pops out another one, and pops out another one. You know what I mean if you've used some Linux distros. Let's go to terminal. That's good. See if it has the sudo command. It has, which is very good because anybody who's starting with Linux and it doesn't even have the sudo command, it will get a little, well, afraid, I'd say. We have here web browser, the Conqueror. Okay. Let's open the Conqueror. We also have Chromium, which I don't know why it installed that Conqueror. I think that's a more lightweight sort of browser, I could imagine. Let's try to launch my website. Yeah, it's pulling up, I think, what could be the mobile version, but it's not particularly good looking. But it loaded it fast. So let's try with YouTube. Some of this document is secured with SSL. We get an SSL error. Maybe it's because of the wrong date and time. No, that's actually correct. Okay, so yeah, this browser is maybe not the best. Go to YouTube. An error occurred. Oh, how nice. This browser, not liking the first couple of minutes I'm using it. Let's try Chromium instead. And this is not known to be a really efficient browser, so I don't know why they pre-installed it. But maybe there's some computer can handle it somewhat decently. So here it launched. The computer will soon stop receiving updates because its hardware is no longer supported. Oh no, maybe it's because it's 32-bit. Let's see if this can do YouTube. Of course, gotta give it, you know, sometimes, since this is an old machine, it's obviously not gonna do it really fast. So after a while, it finally did it. And when we go here to HTOP, which is pre-installed, we can see we have a gigabyte of RAM, and it's using, with Chromium and YouTube loaded, around half a gigabyte, which I think is awesome. It really is awesome. And CPU on this one program, when it's not really doing a whole lot. Alright, let's try to play a video. We'll give it a shot. Okay, let's check out this video I have and see if we can play it. Well, it's trying. It is trying and struggling. Yeah, that's that's what I expected. You know, this is a Pentium 4, so you know, YouTube on a modern day YouTube on this computer, it's meh. But you know, YouTube and web browsing, we already knew beforehand, and it's nothing new that it doesn't work great on this computer. So why don't we go take a look at what this else has pre-installed? Quite a whole lot. We got here LibreOffice, Thunderbird, VLC, the Conqueror web browser. What is accessories? Found a lot here. We got edutainment, mathematics. Alright, the formula editor. Okay, I made a big deal out of that. Science, yeah, again, formula editor. Alright. Games. I hate games. Let's just go away here. Just the standard games. Graphics. All the stuff you really need. And the KDE document viewer is also here. Multimedia. Clementine music player. Oh, that's interesting that they included that. And the system seems to be fully working with it. There's nothing not working so far, except maybe the monitor switching. But yeah, we have here no Firefox though, so that's something I will change in a second. And well, what is that? Install application. Let's just try to use it the way they say or they intend to use it. So let's go here. Okay, pulls up that. So here's already our Firefox. And install the application. Just click here. We still have 700 megs left. Ha! This is Windows XP life there. I mean, look at that. That's like straight out of XP. Only like in a Linux variant, so I don't know. It's kind of cool that they did that. So currently I just removed here the Chromium because it was no good for anyone here on this system. So I scrolled through this recommended list, and that's all the amenities that, you know, most people would want, like Audacity or Blender, even on your FileZilla, GIMP. But that's not the way I do it. That's what probably most people that are not all that tech savvy would use this software center. But what I would usually do on Linux systems is just put it in the command line and just, you know, let it install. I also found this one feature which is missing on so many Linux distros, and that is when you click here, you have the search box, which I know so many Windows users want, and I like it too. So I can just type in here terminal, and there it is, and I can have the terminal. Or, well, I don't have a Windows key on this ThinkPad, it's kind of weird, but I can just type Firefox, and it will be there. It's just so simple, and that is something I really like. It's not a new feature, but it's something that's missing a lot on those lightweight distros. So as you can see here, I installed good old Firefox, and that is a browser I like. So here we have Firefox 85, which is the latest Firefox, and that is something really cool. So we have here the latest Firefox running. Loaded my web page, and it's only using 528 megabytes of RAM. I don't know how it does that. It zips RAM, so they really weren't kidding about the RAM usage there. That is definitely low. So we really don't have all that much troubles with the RAM. It's more the CPU that's lagging behind in our case. It's always packed at 100%. This old Pentium 4, it's just not really up to the task of modern things. But you know what? For the occasional website, the occasional web page you want to look up, it's fine. It really is. If we try to play this video, of course, it will start to struggle again. So yeah, there really doesn't do any better or worse than the Chromium. It just, yeah, playback of those types of videos, yeah, it's just not really possible on those old systems anymore. I plugged in now a USB drive, and that looks, if you've been an XP user, very familiar. So we can just even download the photos with this program that it provided, but we'll not do that. We'll just open it up and see how it displays stuff. If it does, yes, there is it. It is a compact flash card, a perfect bootable medium for an OS. No, of course not. But that's nothing we can deal with here. So you can go to view mode. It's good old, what is it, tree view? Let's see what that is. Yeah, that's a useful view. And let's go in here. Okay, and let's open up that picture. Two random cell phones. It's opening it up like, I remember those days where pictures would randomly open up in like Internet Explorer 6, looking very much like that. And so let's see what else we got. We got here Open With, which is very good. And let's check out this program they provided us. And that is, well, a simple little viewer. All you need. Yeah, you can scroll through. That used to be my cat. And hey, I mean, that's pretty cool that they included that. I know it's included in every distro, but we gotta try out stuff. So very useful, much more useful than that Internet Explorer kind of view. Alright. Try to play back the video. See if VLC can handle it. Yeah, that's working fine. See what it opens up with stock. Oh, it's VLC. Okay. Let's try to set this as a wallpaper. Good old Windows fashion here. Configure the desktop. And multiple desktops, you could also use that. Display. Here are again the monitor settings, which I don't really know. I don't really get the hang of that from first glance looking at it. But can just blue flat. Couldn't have thought that. Just go into our documents. Here, use that. Apply, and here it is. Okay, good. So if you want like a up-to-date, very lightweight Linux, this is definitely one I can recommend you. It's a welcome change, and it's still not as, you know, you don't need to be as pro as with other ones, which are really held back, really limited. This still has a nice, familiar interface, and it even comes with those stock programs. So, you know, this is definitely a recommendation from my side. And I suppose, as I said, this would fly on later machines. Like mine is probably one which is a couple of years too old to be really useful. But if you had like a mid-2000s laptop, I think this could really shine with this operating system. So yeah, but apart from that, it's just the Linux. It is very efficient, very lightweight. Absolutely true. So when we just go here back in the terminal, and I love this search, can you tell? And as you can see right now, 183 megabytes. That is something unthinkable. Like Windows 10 needs an idle nowadays, like what, 4 gigabytes? Maybe not that much, but you get the idea. It's crazy, and this is an up-to-date secure OS. So to round this off, I can definitely say this is an awesome little OS. If you have an old computer, like at a secondary location, you don't want to buy a new one, there you have it. This is your OS. This is an up-to-date secure OS. Here you won't have to worry about your account being stolen or being a victim of a hacker attack. It's an up-to-date Linux based on Debian. And you have up-to-date web browser and all the security protocols. It's all in there, but in a really old school package. And that's, I know, what many people will want. And yeah, I will definitely keep that on here. This now breathes some life back into this old ThinkPad with this Linux distro. And I just enjoy the interface. I've never been a big fan of the KDE stock interface, but this, I mean, they made it look like XP. I like the XP interface. Yeah, it's old school, but it's all you need. So, I mean, what are you expecting from your decade-old computer or something? I mean, this is what you get, and you have an up-to-date operating system. I mean, what more can you ask for? So, yeah, really liking this one. I'm really glad that somebody has recommended me this, that I tried out, and I like it way more than the Tiny Core Linux, which is of course even more efficient. But this running here idling 5% CPU usage on that Pentium 4, 180 megabytes. It's amazing. And it's even somewhat good to use, good, pleasant to look at. It's not super ugly. It doesn't have like a million hidden menus that you need to find. Anybody can use that. And so that is pretty cool. So that was my little installation demo of Q4OS. And yeah, it's definitely recommended from my side. And so thanks for watching this, guys, and I will see you in the next video. See you later.